So folks, welcome back to Ducktales Remastered. Last episode, I completed the moon. This episode, we're in Mount Vesuvius. Didn't really get much of a choice. This is, like, basically, I guess, no, yeah. Freaking, are you kidding me? Take this. Yeah, you better run. Piece of goddamn skeleton. Ain't nothing but skin and bones. I'll F you up. Yeah. That didn't go as well as I actually was hoping. Oh, well. But yeah, I would say that the difficulty actually kind of spikes pretty high in this stage. I mean, you use everything you've learned this far, just like a lot of other games. Oh, but the music, I really do love the music in this game. Like, I think out of any other stage, well, no. Basically, a lot of them I do like, but I don't know. I'm just like really in love with the music in this stage for some reason. Like when it gets to that little ding part, it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't say chills because I don't want to be that kind of oh, okay, he still hit me. All right, but yeah, I don't want to say chills because that's just kind of a. I messed that up again. Actually, maybe I could make this work. That's kind of a phrase I don't often not a fan of liking to use. That was not even a real sentence. Are you kidding me? That is not a phrase that I'm often a fan of using, but I don't know. There's like just certain like songs and tones that just like sound good and feel good, and the theme of this stage is one of them, at least. And like it just kind of like pushes that whole. It kind of pushes the whole tenseness of it, like, oh no, you have to go and save your nephews, because that's kind of what happened. They just got kidnapped. You have to go, and you're gonna sacrifice your. Oh, okay, I just died. And you're gonna sacrifice your one and only first dime. There's never a second first dime. There is only ever one. All right, let's see if I can make this work this time. There we go. Taking it. But yeah, like whoever composed the music for this game just knew what they were doing. I mean, the original version, and then putting Jake Kaufman in charge of remixing the music or remastering the music, I guess. You know, that was just an idea on top of an already good idea. So, you know, despite Capcom occasionally doing some BS occasionally, IEC often, no, oh no, oh. Yeah, that's what I hate talking mess, because like, I always feel like something bad always happens when that happens. Okay, alright, okay. But yeah, so, a good idea on top of a good idea, always a good idea. How about you shut the up? Put your back into it, McDuck.
Hurry up, Grumgold. Time is money. It could be dangerous, McDuck.
You go first.
You go first.
Okay. Nothing like quoting the game out of line, out of order. All right, out of order. More like out of quarter. But yeah, where was I going with this? Music on top of music's always a good idea. I hate going off on a tangent because I always forget where I've stepped off at.
Hurry up, I'm growing old. Just not as old as you.
Oh, check that out.
Fast as I can.
This amazed me the first time I saw it too. If you actually look in the background, or I died again. Talking while playing, I'm telling you, it's not as easy as it looks. I'm kidding, it's very easy. I just Okay. It's not as easy as it looks. I'm kidding, it's very easy. But yeah, it's strange that this is the only time you actually get to see this effect in this game. Because, you know, usually, like, when they have some kind of cool gimmicky thing, they play it up a lot. But this is the only time in this stage where you actually see where, you know, it's nothing but a silhouette. But man, art direction. Keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, art direction. That is the name of the game. That is the name of game development. I want to say art direction is at least 50% modern gaming art development is 50% aesthetics, 50% game development, or maybe 75%. No. Yeah, when it comes to the look of a game, I would argue that it's more. What would be the good percentage? Well, I guess this isn't the only part of the stage, but it's definitely not a lot. It definitely ain't much. I'll tell you that much. What is it? God. Oh yeah. That when it comes to a good-looking game, it's not just about graphics, but it's about aesthetics too, which they actually covered this in an episode of Extra Credits, my favorite video game related education series probably around. But yeah, that when it comes to making a good looking game, it's not solely about, you know, having holy snap them graphics, but aesthetics, which is about how good a game, I mean, you know, how a game looks. Okay, one-hit kills, thank you. Not the spikes that are one-hit kills, it's the rolling molten boulder. And in the left corner is a rolling molten boulders, and in the right corner is Scrooge McDuck. Who's gonna win in this epic battle of wits? Well, that was a quick match. Now this day in video game news. Now, but back to what I was saying, that what they say is that there's one thing about graphics, and it's another thing about aesthetics. Like, so graphics is like the tools, the power to make something, you know, look really, really good. The shaders, I really don't know a lot of game development terms, I'll be honest. But definitely the shaders, that's one thing. The shaders, the polygon count, that kind of stuff. The amount of hair you can see on an old man's face on the Xbox 360 showing. Oh, no, sorry, that was PlayStation 4 showing. Anyway, that is graphical power. Then there's aesthetics, which is choosing how the game looks, when to use the tools, and how to use the tools. So, like, say, like, The Last of Us, it has really good graphics, but it also has really good aesthetics.
Get a move on, McDuck. Age before
Okay, I took that bubbling on the left side as, someone hiding there. Okay. But yeah, so The Last of Us. It's a really good looking game, and because it looks good and it plays good, because it has good graphics and good aesthetics. The power of the PlayStation 4 PlayStation 3 along with the education and know-how of Naughty Dog. And then, like, let's use Ducktales as an example. Huh? Yeah, let's use Ducktales as an example. Wait a second. What am I missing here? You know what? Screw it, I'm going down there. Goodbye, world. Fooled you, didn't I? No, but, yeah, dang, I was on a roll with something. Yeah, something like DuckTales, where the aesthetics is that they could have chosen to make, the characters 3D and make the background 3D also. But they chose to make the characters 2D and make the background 3D, and it just works. What other things about aesthetics? Like, oftentimes when you hear people say something about kiddie graphics, it's not about what I usually consider kiddie is like when things like are really, really patronizing, super simple. Like Dora the Explorer is definitely kiddie. Do you know where the giant rock is? Very good. Same map, same map, same map. Repetition, simplicity. That's what I consider kiddie. Not to say that everything simple is kiddie, but like I think there's a difference between kiddie and family friendly. But anyway, example of like when Wind Waker was first announced and coming out, people were saying like, "Oh my God, what they do to the Zelda franchise? It looks so horrible. Looks so kiddie," because you know, bright colors, solid colors, cell shading style, that kind of stuff. I can kind of see where they're coming from, but just because something doesn't look super duper grim and quote unquote mature, doesn't exactly mean that it's not, you know, for everyone. Ironically, okay, let me just hit this guy. I missed him. Maybe I can still jump him. Nope, never mind. Alternatively, though, what people consider mature, it's becoming a little bit more ironic. Because, what is it? People often use kiddie as kind of like an insult. Sometimes they use it like in a sincere sense. But other times they kind of say it like, you know, that looks so kiddie. Like, you know, it's not for a grown-up like me. Yeah, they do use it in like a cynical sense. Like, it looks kiddie, it's not for a grown-up like me. Only kids will play it, and you should be ashamed if you're a grown adult playing it. But then, when you think about all the quote-unquote mature stuff, and then you realize just how many actual kids are trying to... made it. When you think about all the kids that are actually trying to get into playing this mature stuff, you kind of realize just how kiddie mature stuff is, and how mature stuff kiddie is. Because maturity is about not giving a flip about... Well, part of maturity is about not having any shame, or at least not giving as much of a flip about what people think about you. So like, yeah, I'm 22 years old and still play Pokemon, what of it? As opposed to an insecure person who says like, man, you know, if you're a 22-year-old, oh my God! If you're a 22-year-old playing Pokemon, you should be ashamed of yourself. But yeah, that's, okay. Just kind of took that hit. Count Duckula, wait, wasn't there a Count Duckula TV show? I'm not sure if that went under the same name, but there was. It was a green duck who was kind of a vampire, but he was also a duck. It was like, I think it was even older than Ducktales, even. I think. I used to see it on ABC a long time ago. I forgot what channel it originally aired on. NBC? It was definitely one of those... I remember it as a Saturday morning cartoon, but I'm sure it was something else. But yeah, the matter of maturity is kind of in the eye of the beholder. But, you know, I think a mature person can be the bigger man also, and is not a judgmental piece of snap. Who isn't afraid to enjoy what they want to enjoy. I mean, just because you're playing Pokemon doesn't mean you can't be like a full-on responsible adult yourself. And just because you play Call of Duty doesn't mean that you're like a super mature grown-up yourself too. Because there's a whole bunch of 5-year-olds and 12-year-olds also playing Call of Duty just along with you. So are they grown up just because they're playing a game with a lot of blood and guts? And isn't wanting to see a whole lot of blood and guts kind of a kiddie thing too? And then when you really mention kids games, you can talk about a man's game like football, American football. But then, who else plays American football? Kids! Kids also play American football, so basically, anything a kid can do can technically be considered kiddie, when you truly think about it. Which is why the whole kiddie aspect doesn't really hold up. Also, I'm sorry that I went from talking about video game art design aesthetics to what's kiddie and what's not, but that's kind of what happens when you don't got anyone to moderate with you. Okay, now the final part of this stage is the race to the top. Gotta get that secret dime before they do. And trust me, this is a little bit harder than it actually looks. Because the pacing, like they're, ooh, cutting it close, cutting it close. If you don't know when to jump and when to pogo, you're gonna screw yourself up. And they really know how to get there, but looks like made it. In your face, mother flippers. Oh wait, I gotta make it out of here now. Oh no. This is like Metroid all over again. And the chains are disintegrating too? It sure isn't great that these are disintegrating. Okay. Only one chance to jump, are you kidding me? Alright, I think I'm gonna make it though. This is almost like as tense as the movie was. And yes, there was a DuckTales movie. And yes, I just beat the game. In your face! And then they ride off into the sunsets. Alright. So... Man, I can't believe I actually beat this in less than no time possible. Can't believe I actually had stuff to talk about while actually trying to beat this. I can't believe I actually had stuff to talk about. Well, oh, it's gonna be 73 tomorrow. This is actually kind of pretty cool. Weather-wise. Alright, okay, I just bumped my fan again. Alright, I'm sorry. You guys can listen to this. I'll be right back.
On your bill, Flinty. You can pay me back in, say 3 to 5 years. With interest, of course. I'll get you for this, McDuck. Mark my words. Now, there's a sight I never get tired of. Come on, lads. Let's head to the ice cream shop.
Hey, can we each get our own cone this time, Uncle Scrooge?
Oh, why not? I'm in a generous mood today. In fact, each of you can even get a cone with ice cream in it.
Scrooge McDuck is... I often forget how much of a selfish punk he can be sometimes. Yes, you could get ice cream. This time, you can get a cone with ice cream in it. Wink. But yep, so the tyrannical overlord. Consigliere? Who are these two? I always love seeing credits when they always like try to throw in something that's not as formal as it usually is. Like creator, technical director, producer, tyrannical overlord. What? What? But yeah. So, yeah, you don't even get to listen to the theme. You didn't play this game, I did. I came all this way in my life. But nah. So that's been DuckTales Remastered. And of course, after you beat the game, you're free to actually go back and check any of the stages you want to earn more money. Let's actually check the money bin one more time. But yeah, sorry, I mean, alright. If anyone from Way Forward is watching this, I'm sorry that I skipped the credits. Usually, oh wow, this stuff does build up. Look at that. There's piles of, alright. So I guess I'm gonna have to do this on my own then. But yeah, sorry if there's anyone from Way Forward watching this. More often than not, I do show the credits, but I'll be honest, you guys' credits are really long. Not Ubisoft long, but pretty long for this game at least. But yeah, so with all the money that you collect throughout the game, you can start buying stuff. You can check out the hand-drawn sprites and stuff, which looks really cool. You can look at the top left and you can see the classic NES sprites, which is impressive to see, like, how they've actually... Like, it takes really good artists to look at one thing and then, you know, bring it into a modern sense. So yeah, artists of Way Forward, you guys did real good. I mean, look at that. Look, that gorilla just looked like some random gorilla, but look at the hand-drawn one. That bee just looked like some random bee, but look at that hand-drawn bee. The other guys look pretty cartoony to begin with. What's another good example? Yeah, the rat looked pretty well animated. Now the bat looked pretty decently animated. Wait, is it just the bat? No, it's all the monsters. Anyway, point is that, you know, to bring it into like a really modern HD sense, you guys, Way Forward, did real good. And of course you get to see the concept art and stuff. Like, this is the really encouraging stuff that I wish a lot more modern games did. Like, forget achievements and stuff. Allow me to earn things that, you know, are generally interesting. I don't care about having to, well, I know some people do, care about bragging about like, hey, I completed this stage in 10 minutes and collected $50 million. But me, nah, I want to see this kind of stuff. Like, what did they have to go into production? What did they have to figure? What did they have to see? What did they have to do to create the game that they made now? Like, if you look at the top right, you can see like the really, really quick Swift sketch. That's not what it's called. It's been a while since I've actually been in art class, but you see the Swift sketch. You see the red one, which is like a slightly more detailed. You see the top left and all the other ones, which are like illustrations, like ideas, like just how the stuff will look. And then, you know, just how it becomes a reality in the final product. You get to see more sketches and stuff, and like, this is just the stuff I really like. And that's because I like to do animation and cartooning too. I know I've said that a million times. I don't mean to like play that up super duper high. Pencil renders, I mean, look at that. Look at it. It's just so beautiful. Background painting, so you actually get to see the background of the stage. Well, I don't think this was in the stages. Regardless, looks nice. And of course you get to buy music, which is a good way to earn it. But I'm not going to play it because last time, not saying it's still up a thing, but last time I tried to play the music, it froze my game, so I'd rather not take that chance right now. And the best thing, and I think one of the better things in this whole thing is that you actually get to buy TV show art. So you actually get to see actual art from the actual show. And I don't know how they got their hands on it. I don't know what's still in the studio, what studio they got it from. But the fact that they actually got actual stuff from the TV show, you know, is really cool. I think the only thing that could have like topped it was having like a full episode or two of Ducktales, but you know, that's something that's just not to really be expected. I don't remember Launchpad being in a lumberjack suit. But yeah, you can see in like, I think what the top left is like a general idea, if not the actual created thing. And just look how, I just stuttered there. What's a good example? Like, look how complicated animation can be sometimes. Like, look at all those symbols, words, look at like all that duct tape, duct tape, woohoo, every time we're putting together, no. But yeah, just, I'm telling you, animation is not a very easy thing. And it's also something to keep in mind that a lot of this stuff was all hand-drawn, all done manually, analog, in a studio, not digitally on a computer, not, you know, some, like, look at this. This is, give me a second here. I need to slow my butt down real quick. I think what I'm looking at here isn't TMS Entertainment. Oh, that must be the company. But no, I'm looking at what is, I think, an X sheet or a cross sheet or something. Now that whole sheet with all the lines and numbers and stuff, you put down like what's being animated, and then for each little line square is about like half a second, if not a full second of animation. So in order to like make someone take a full step, you have to write down like about 24 lines of like this person's taking a full step in this part of the screen up to this part of the screen. It's just super technical, but that's how they made it happen back in the day before computers were more of like the bigger tool. Let's see if I have enough to buy all this stuff. And just look at that, like what you see there with the characters just sitting in front of the screen, that is what you saw on TV. All that stuff around it is actually like, you know, the painted stuff that they didn't have to finish because of course, you know. But then, like the characters moving, like you'd see Big Duck right there, and he'd be a whole separate frame being drawn over and over again, moving across the screen, while the background stayed the same, and I could just go on forever about this, but I won't, because I can't. But, just, animation is such a beautiful thing. It's almost Scrooge McDuck in a wheelchair. I mean, it's oddly fitting, but... yeah. Wait a second. They had a pig? Okay. I remembered that there was mostly, like, birds and dogs. I didn't exactly think there were, like, too many other, creatures. But yeah, I'm just unlocking all of this. We've already beaten the game. We're just cruising through now. I want to see if I can actually unlock everything before I run out of money. But yeah, man. Ducks wading through water. Alright. Also, if you guys didn't know about the logic, you're not really supposed to... you can't swim in a bin of money. You know, it's a solid entity that would basically, like, hurt yourself upon landing. Man, I really need to get the DVD of this series. Like, seriously. Oh, look, Donald was in it, too. And it was just kind of an amazing thing that they did back in the day of, what is it? Of, the Disney afternoon cartoons. Because, you know, Scrooge McDuck came from... oh, I unlocked everything! Wait, no I didn't. I was mistaken. Forgot to unlock the music. I was getting so happy, too. I wonder if something comes from unlocking everything. I highly doubt it, but, what is it? That back in the Disney afternoon cartoons, you know, you had Scrooge McDuck... I'm out of money! Now it just feels just like real life. And I still had more stuff to buy anyway. You know, it's fine. But yeah. Back in the day, they had, like, the Scrooge McDuck comics, and then his biggest role before DuckTales was, the night before... not... was it the night before Christmas? No. I remember the name. I barely remember the name. What is the name of that thing? It was made by Charles Dickens. Was it Charles Dickens? Yeah, it was made by Charles Dickens. A Christmas Carol. A Christmas Carol. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. That was his biggest role, I think. The Disney rendition of A Christmas Carol. I'll see all the money's gone. Alright. So, yeah. And then, what else? And, you know, they had, like, Donald Duck make an appearance in this series. And, of course, Goof Troop, which was based around Goofy. But how his whole life became something else. How Aladdin, the TV show, was based off the movies. But it became its own entity. And Hercules was a movie that became its own entity, too. And they actually had an Aladdin-Hercules crossover episode before. I think. Don't quote me on it, but that's what I vaguely remember. But yeah, man, Disney was usually all about their characters back in the day. And hopefully they'll be making a comeback. I mean, you'd think that with Kingdom Hearts being as big as it is, they do some stuff with it, but that seems more like Square Enix's baby than Disney actually cares to care about. Because you think you'd actually see something Kingdom Hearts related in some of the Disney parks. But the most I saw was just some kiosks of Kingdom Hearts 1. And that's not really saying much. So yeah, this has been DuckTales Remastered on the Nintendo Wii U. And of course there's other systems you can play it on. PC, PS3, coming soon to 360 September 11th, I think. If not sooner or later. And that's about it. If you stuck around this long, thanks for watching. And as always, I shall see you guys in the next game I'm going to play. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Peace.